So now let's see all the features and functionality and specification of Arduino Ventuno Q. So all the credits, all the technical details were taken from Arduino official site. You can check out the link on the description. So starting with the core concept or the core brain here. So we are actually getting two different brain or two different section in it. So first thing is the microprocessor unit and another one is the microcontroller unit. So MPU, that is microprocessor unit, will be running all your complex tasks like running your operating system, handling AI and the vision tasks. And another section is the microcontroller unit. So all the real-time control like controlling DC motor, controlling your different motors and all, so attaching different sensors and all could be done by the microcontroller unit. So this is putting an Arduino and Raspberry Pi on a single board. So now let's see the core processor details. So here we will be getting a Qualcomm Dragonwing IQ8 and IQ8 275 to be very specific. And here we will be getting octa-core ARM CPU. So you may have heard of quad-core, dual-core, quad-core, but this is octa-core. So we will be getting 8 different cores inside the CPU and we can do a lot of multiple tasks right now. Next thing is the Arduino GPU. So your visual task, your UI, your all the graphics will be handled by this GPU. So next thing is the hexagon NPU. So if you don't know what exactly NPU is, so keep one line in mind that NPU is designed for AI tasks dedicatedly, so it consumes less energy and do a lot of complex tasks, especially for AI. So talking about another part, that is microcontroller part. So here we will be getting Cortex M33 at 250 MHz, which is really great, and STM32H5 microcontroller. So here I have used STM32 boards before. For those real-time tasks, I could say STM32 is a great board. So talking about the AI performance, well, this is the task I could say lots of you have been, you would definitely try to buy that. So we will be getting 40 TOPS NPU, which is really crazy. Here you can see. So TOPS means tera operation per second. So 40 tera operation per second is really amazing. And so using this NPU and 40 TOPS especially, we can do a lot of AI tasks like object detection, pose detection. So you will be able to run all of those LLMs like Olama or DeepSeek like things, so in locally without any internet. So looking at the memory and the storage, we will be getting 16 GB LPDDR RAM, which is really great. So LPDDR is low power double data rate 5. So why it actually matters is that it can do all of your tasks very smoothly and there will be minimum lag compared to other things. So next thing is the 64 GB eMMC storage. Lots of the time if you have used single board computer, then mostly we need to buy SD card, flashing the OS on the board using the SD card and then getting your operating system on your single board. But we will be getting everything. No SD card is required, no external SD card will be required. And this is really important because when we are talking about data rate and better data rate without minimum delays, then getting an onboard eMMC or onboard storage is really great. So in this we also get this expandable NVMe SSD option, so you can actually put an external NVMe. So next thing is the vision and camera support. So I already have single board computer which can support 2 cameras, but 3 camera is really crazy. And this is very helpful, especially when we are talking about VSLAM or visual simultaneous localization and mapping, and where we actually take the visual data from your camera and we try to navigate or localize ourselves. So MIPI CSI is mobile industry processor interface and CSI is camera serial interface. So you can, this is kind of standard and very fast way to, get the visual data from your camera. And instead of going through the USB camera, I could say this is really best option to get the visual with the minimum delay. Next thing is the USB camera support. So we can have USB camera with it. It also has the built-in ISP. So using this feature, we can do a lot of stuff here. So like 360 vision, we can put 3 cameras on each of the side of our robot and do, VSLAM or, do autonomous navigation and all of those. So this is really amazing. Next thing is about connectivity. So we will be getting tri-band. So in Raspberry Pi 4 and 5 we have been getting dual band. So it can actually support 2 different frequency band, I could say, so 2.4 and 5 gigahertz, but this can support 3 band. So 2.4 gigahertz, 5 gigahertz, and the 6 gigahertz, which is really amazing. So another part is Bluetooth 5.0 and 2.5 gigabit Ethernet. So we got an 2.5 gigabit Ethernet connectivity here. And talking about other connectivity or hardware, the connectors here. So we are actually getting two USB 3.0. So it have Type A and one HDMI, one PD USB-C. So PD is power delivery, and it can do the powering and data transmission at the same time. So I really wanted to have multiple USB connector personally, if you ask me. So still, this is really great. So looking at the robotics and control feature, we will be getting real-time GPIO, so we can actually connect different motors, motor drivers and all on a single board actually directly without going with your microcontroller and all. So we will be also getting CAN FD support, which is really good. So when we are talking about industrial grade support and industrial grade motor uses, then this introducing this option is really great, and especially this part here. So you can see we will be getting an the screw terminal way, so we can actually tie the screw and attach different wire onto it. So instead of going with those pinning kind of way, so we can directly put the data cable or data pins here. Next thing is the power jack, so it can support up to 12 to 24 volt DC power supply. Let's look at the software ecosystem. So here it can support Ubuntu Debian operating system. You can also use Arduino App Lab, which is really amazing. Right now I don't have Arduino UNO Q. I will definitely try to go with this, but still I have seen some videos and some tutorials related to it, and you can do a lot of crazy thing with minimum amount of coding, I could say. So here talking about the hardware compatibility, it can support Arduino Uno Shield. So if you already have Arduino Uno Shield, like different shield is already there, so you won't be getting any problem using those. So you can directly put all of those shield on top of your board. Next thing is the support for Raspberry Pi head. So even if you have a Raspberry Pi head, then we can directly use this here. So quick sensor is another option you can do here. So you can directly connect those I2C based those sensor which already available. Key AI model support. So here we will be getting support from Whisper, Quen LLMs, that is large language model. You can do all those text to text conversation. Mellow TTS, so which is an offline text to speech model, I could say. So this is another good. You can build some chat bot using this kind of thing. So here another or best thing I could say is the Quen VLM, that is vision language model. So you can ask it to define certain vision or visual data on its screen. So for example, here you can see a person is having an electric guitar, and when I ask it what it actually is, then it will be describing the particular scene that it is looking at. So this is really amazing. Putting this on some real project is really practical and I could say really helpful. Now let's see the comparison chart of the single board computer, that is Ventuno Q, and other single board computer already exist there. So starting with the Ventuno Q itself. So when we're talking about architecture, we got dual microprocessor and microcontroller on a single board. But when we are talking about Jetson Nano, it only have a single SoC, that is system on chip. So we'll be getting the CPU, GPU on a single chip, and similar for the Raspberry Pi. And when we are talking about Arduino UNO Q, which is the previous single board computer from Arduino and Qualcomm. So here we will be getting microcontroller and MCU on a single board. So next thing is the CPU. So we got octa core, we are getting 8 core CPU. And when we are talking about Jetson Orin Nano, so we got 6 core ARM Cortex A78AE. And talking about Raspberry Pi, we got quad core, and similar for the Arduino Uno, but the difference is it got A76, Raspberry Pi got A76, and Arduino Uno Q got A53 at 2 GHz. Looking at the GPU, we got Adreno GPU in Ventuno Q. In Jetson Nano, we got Ampere GPU, so it has 1024 CUDA cores, which is really amazing, especially when we are talking about the GPU performance and doing all those complex tasks. So our video core 7 in Raspberry Pi 5. And in Arduino UNO Q, there is no such a dedicated GPU inside it. Next thing is the AI processor. When we are talking about AI processor, we got octa-core ARM. In Ventuno Q, in Jetson Nano, we got Tensor Core. That is 67 TOPS, which is really amazing. So as I already told you, tera operation per second. In Raspberry Pi, we didn't got any AI processor or similar for the Arduino UNO Q. Talking about the RAM here, so this is a small mistake here. So it got 16 GB RAM. So 16 GB LPDDR5. So when we are talking about Jetson Nano, it got 8 GB LPDDR5. And next thing is for Raspberry Pi 5. Well, there is two different versions of it. So we can have an 8 GB LPDDR and 16 GB LPDDR4X. And talking about the storage, it has an 64 GB eMMC. We don't actually require SD card or something like the other single board computer in Ventuno Q. Next thing is the camera support. It can support 3 MP CSI compared to Jetson Nano. It can support 2 MP CSI, and similar to Raspberry Pi, it can also support 2 MP CSI. But when we are talking about Arduino UNO Q, it don't have any CSI connector in it. So all of the data were taken from the Arduino official. You can check out the link on the description, and for more details you can go there. So this is all about this video, and if you're liking my content, please like and subscribe my channel. So I am Vikas, I love robotics. See you on the next video. Till then, bye.